Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, April the 28th, and I just wanted to point out my beautiful cards behind me. These were made by my friend. She has a YouTube channel. Her name is Paula Hatton Creating Cards to Share. And she made these for me, and this is a little door tag that she made with my grandson Issa's picture on it. And the latest card that she sent to me is this one. And it was after my brother died. She made this for me. It says, with sympathy, with deepest sympathy. And she put a little flat back pearl on it. And all of this is done in 3D. And she colored these roses now with, by hand. And they are just absolutely gorgeous. And then she put a little cross on here for me. And a bumblebee, I guess that's some type of little moth. Butterfly or something. And this is Matilda. And then on the inside it says, it has a little medallion there on it with sympathy. And I just wanted y'all to see that. I mean, isn't it just gorgeous? So I'm going to stick it on the wall right here. And then you'll have something pretty to look at while I'm talking to you. And I'm just going to continue with my autobiography today. And I had left off with John taking me to the ear doctor and how I had to have that hole repaired in my eardrum. Well, that day we were on our way back from Houston. And of course, we didn't know the area that well. And so we were coming down, into Freeport. And we took what we thought was an exit ramp. And we were going down the exit ramp, y'all. And all of a sudden, the Gulf of Mexico was right there. It was a boat launch ramp. And he slammed on brakes. And we barely escaped going into the ocean. But anyway, we came on home. And I had gotten a job there at the local newspaper. And the name of the newspaper is the Brazosport Facts. There is a river that runs through that area called the Brazos River. So there are a lot of things that are named after that river. But they had hired me as a typesetter. Now back then, the typesetting, let me show you. Of course, we didn't have, the computers and all and word processing like we have today. So everything that we typed was just blind. And so we would be given the handwritten copy that the editor had written, about a story. And then we would sit there and type it. And it would punch little holes in a roll of tape that was kind of like this. And then as we typed, the tape would roll onto another roll. And across the tape, there would be six little digits punched in. And each digit stood for a letter. And then after we finished with, the typesetting, then another person would take the roll of the tape and then run it through another machine, and it would print it out. And if we, then it went to the proofreader. And if there was a word misspelled, then the proofreader, would check it and mark it. And then the typesetter had to go back and type just that one word, and then it would be glued on top of the misspelled word. And then it would go, it would be all, put on the newspaper setting and then run through the printer. After that, I didn't really know much about it. I just remember those big presses, running the newspaper print out. But anyway, while John and I were there, Dort and Lamar did come to visit us, and I have a couple of pictures of them. We did go to the beach when they came, and this is a picture of Lamar and Dort, and that's John sitting there on the beach. And here's a picture of Mother. She had waded out into the Gulf of Mexico and had her breeches rolled up. And then this is a picture of John and I at the Christmas party, the Brazosport Facts, and I don't know what he was doing. He was always cutting up and had a handkerchief over his face. But that's me with my long hair, and I had curled it that day. But anyway, when we were on the beach, we had taken hamburgers and a little round tabletop grill. So we just set it down on the sand, and we were cooking the hamburgers and everything. And it was windy that day. And we ended up, we could not even eat the hamburgers. They were just full of sand. So we ended up having to throw that away. Now, Mrs. Evans was the proofreader, and she was an older lady, and she loved to cook, and she would always bring her special dishes to every time we would have a Christmas party or something. And she would make this pound cake, and I just named it Mrs. Evans Pound Cake. And I still have the original recipe that I wrote down from the 1970s, and this is it right here. Mrs. Evans Pound Cake. Calls for 2 sticks of butter, 1 3/4 cups sugar, 2 cups plain flour, 5 or 6 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and I think a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we'll make it one day, but it is the best pound cake that I ever put in my mouth. Now, the only visitors that we had there were on John's side were his oldest brother, Dr. William Arnett Sullivan Jr. He and his wife, Peggy, did come to visit us, and I remember she was pregnant. In fact, every time that I saw her for 10 or 12 years, she was pregnant. They ended up having 5 daughters, and of course Arnett wanted a son, so she did have 3 miscarriages, an ectopic pregnancy, and a stillbirth. And then after the 10th time, she got sick with lupus, and she finally just said, you know, no more. But anyway, I'll pick up maybe tomorrow. We'll continue with another chapter of my autobiography. And thank you guys so much. And just leave me a thumbs up. And y'all keep on coming back. Bye.